Fox News national security strategist Dr. Sebastian Gorka, former 2012 Republican presidential candidate and the chairman of the America Fighting Back PAC, Herman Cain, and former intelligence analyst Morgan Ortagus. So this is all in the backdrop, ladies and gentlemen, of the Kavanaugh situation. And speaking of, he had a little fun with Dianne Feinstein. And I don't know if the audience totally remembers this, but Dianne was asked about leaking the Dr. Ford letter to the press, which blew this entire thing up. And the president had a little fun with that. Let's roll the tape and react.
When you look at releases and leaks, and then they say, oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Remember? Dianne Feinstein, did you leak? Remember her answer. Did you leak the document? What? No, no, I didn't leak. Well, wait 1 minute. Did we leak? No, we didn't leak it.
You know, it's funny, but it's not funny, and here's why, guys. This is a Me Too situation, and in the Me Too movement, the importance of respecting the alleged accuser, the female, is critical to maintaining her integrity and her peace of mind. And she didn't want her name out there, yet Dianne Feinstein, or one of her colleagues, obviously, because the chain of custody of the letter was already established, leaked her name to everybody. And this hoisted this woman who didn't want to go public into the national spotlight and tortured her in front of a live TV audience. Morgan, I'll begin with you. I mean, that was a pretty intense attack on Dianne. That landed hard.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, and I think that it was well deserved. I mean, it was either, Feinstein, the congressional staff, or the lawyers. And if you think about it, as you said, they did a huge disservice to her. Of course, everyone's talking about this FBI investigation, how it needs more time now, right? The minute that we get the FBI investigation, suddenly it needs more time. All of this could have happened with confidentiality, under a premise in which this poor woman didn't have to be paraded in front of millions, if not billions, of people around the world. This is probably what has gotten. So the attack was tough, but I think it was deserved. And I'm actually surprised during the committee hearing that Feinstein didn't have a better response. It was sort of, it seemed like she was winging it and like, as the person said, I don't know what happened. I thought they would
look good under that.
They would have been ready with something better than that.
He also took the opportunity during this rally to go after a 2020 contender, Cory Booker, who, remember, had this big Spartacus moment, Dr. Gorka, where he thumped himself on the chest and was very proud of himself. The president talked about that, and let's listen.
How about Cory Booker? Did you watch the performance? He ran Newark, New Jersey, into the ground, and now he wants to be president, right? What was the moment he said he had? I don't think so. I think we take Kirk Douglas in his prime.
Kirk Douglas. All right, Dr. Gorka, what do you think about that?
He was on form. These rallies, they just, one after another, he knocks it out of the park, especially when he gets off his teleprompter. It's amazing. But to the serious side of this, let's just think about what happened this Thursday. A man who has a spotless, white, completely clean record for 50 years, within 11 days, goes to being an upstanding, godly man, to being accused not only of potential gang rape, but also attempted murder. And the people who have put him in the spotlight are a woman, Feinstein, who for 20 years had a Chinese spy on her payroll when she was part of the Intelligence Committee of the Senate. Cory Booker, who has admitted on record to groping a high school teenager, and a man called Dick Blumenthal, who lectures the federal judge, Brett Kavanaugh, on lying and telling the truth when he repeatedly lied about being a combat veteran in Vietnam. This is politics in 2018, and it should disgust all Americans. And I think if you look at social media, Jesse, There's a lot of people who are angry right now who didn't vote for Trump, and I think they're going to vote for Trump and the Republican ticket.
It has been a motivating factor, these Kavanaugh hearings, surprisingly with women, because the women I've spoken to recently are really aghast at what's been going on because they can see it can be unfair on the other side. And you've seen hoaxes, and I'm not saying Ford is a hoax artist, but by the way the political machine worked, when Feinstein tapped Ford's lawyer and said, hey, go to Katz, this woman who's a socialist. She's a member of the resistance. It was all a little bit too coincidental, Dr. Herman Cain. And to think that a man with such a stellar reputation can come up in front of people with less than stellar reputations, as Dr. Gorka mentioned, and have his integrity questioned like that, obviously he's incredibly angry. Obviously he's incredibly upset and impassioned. And now the left is saying he's too upset and angry and impassioned to be a balanced and impartial justice of the Supreme Court. They were never going to vote for him, and this is all a big stunt. What do you think?
I agree with you. And as we would say in the Baptist church, to Dr. Gorka's comments and the other comments by the lady, amen, amen, amen. That's number one. Number two,
the lady's name's
drug him. Yeah, I mean,
I've been on with you before, Herman. You don't remember
I needed
me?
another amen, okay? But I just wanted them to know how much I appreciate their comments, because they are absolutely right on. Now, they have taken Judge Kavanaugh and tried to do what they call political character assassination. And as Dr. Gorka said, I believe it is backfiring. I hear from people all the time. I see people, they're asking me about it. Everybody that approaches me about what went on last week, while the people of this country were held hostage for 12 days, 12 days they were held hostage. They describe this as, in one word, despicable.
It is despicable, and it is backfiring. Because if you look at some of these polls in West Virginia, people of West Virginia want this guy Kavanaugh confirmed.